Hello, everyone. If you've been following the latest in AI, you've definitely heard of Skills. Skills give our AI agents a special capability. I've installed a lot of skills locally, but managing them is a real headache. We now have many AI agents like Claude Code, Codex, and Cursor, but each skill has to be installed into a different agent. Take a look at my local skills folder, and you'll see a huge number of skills organized in nested levels, which makes managing them across agents very difficult. I often lose track of which skills are in which agent, so I built a tool called Skill Manager. It's now open source and already has 1,700 stars on GitHub. It's a really handy tool for managing skills. Now let me walk you through its features. I made a video on this before, but there have been a lot of improvements since, so I want to go over the features again. First, there's the skill library. It holds all of your current local skills. It also has tags, which you can define yourself, for example, ones for coding, creative work, or text management. You can use tags to filter different skills. It supports local skills, skills imported from elsewhere, skills pulled from GitHub, or from Skills.sh. So that's the skill library. Now, how do we install a skill? There's a skill marketplace here. It pulls all the popular skills from Skills, Core 9, with download counts shown. Installing is very simple. Just click a skill, click the plus button, and it installs onto your system automatically, and you'll find it here. It also supports local installs. You can pick a local skill folder or a zip archive, or import a skill from GitHub. Next, let me talk about a recent major update, presets. A lot of people on GitHub issues ask for a way to bulk import, enable, and disable skills, and presets now make that possible. You can see I have a few presets here. One is an Obsidian preset, all about managing an Obsidian notebook. So if I want to use Obsidian, I just import this preset into the global or project workspace. So a preset is simply a bundle of skills that you can import and disable in bulk. Then on the left, the workspaces are split into three types: the global workspace, the Lobster Agent, and the project workspace. The global workspace writes to the agent's root directory. Here are some skills already in the root directory, not yet imported into the skill hub. We can click the upload button, and they get imported into our skill library. These are skills synced down from the library. You can also bulk import all the presets. Right now, I have 3 enabled. I can click Frontend, and all the skills inside it get imported into these 3 agents. I can also disable them in bulk, so it's very flexible. Then there's the Lobster Agent workspace. Why did I add this? Because it handles skills differently from the global workspace agents. With Claude Code, the skills get swapped out often, since the scenarios and problems differ. So we enable certain skills as needed. We can't enable every skill at once. First, it would take up a lot of context and consume tokens. Second, the agent gets confused loading so many at once and may not pick the skill you actually want. So we enable them on demand. But for the Lobster Agent, the skills you enable are meant to stay long-term. We rarely change them here, only occasionally adding or removing a few. So it's a special category, which is why I added the Lobster Agent section. And then there's the project workspace for your own independent projects, where each project needs certain specific skills. These skills aren't installed in the agent's root directory, but under the project's own path. So the Global project and Lobster workspaces all support tag filtering and enabling or disabling presets. In the skill library, every skill has its own detail page. On it, you can see its source, type, and version. Here, you can see which agents have it enabled in the global workspace and import it into the right agent from here. Then there's the project workspace, where you can add it to different projects, which is another entry point. Below are the skills details. When you compare it against its source, sometimes the source has a newer version, and if you click diff, you can see exactly what changed and which parts were updated. Right now, it matches the source, so no differences show up yet. In the project workspace, skills work here too, and in the global workspace, skills also have this detailed page you can open. Both the global and project workspaces have an Add Skill page. Once you open it, through the panel on the right of this dialog, you can add the skills you want to import. Overall, managing skills is very flexible. Next, let me cover some other features. Some skills are pulled from the marketplace, and those sometimes get updated. Without a tool like this, you'd have to check for updates manually and regularly, but this tool can check them all in bulk. If there are updates, you click Update All, and it updates every skill automatically. If an update is needed, the skill shows an update badge. I've already updated mine, so no badge is showing right now. Then here is the settings page. We have a list of supported AI agents, and you can enable or disable each one. At the same time, in the skill library, these icons are all AI agents, and I can individually import or export, enable or disable a skill for each corresponding agent. You notice they have an order, and you can drag to reorder them, which makes it easier to work here and focus only on the agents you care about most. There's support for more agents below if we need them, and of course, if your agent isn't in these settings, you can click Add Agent, and it becomes a custom agent path you define. Here are the global repository path, the theme, and the system tray. This is how often skills are auto-checked for updates. You can choose whether to enable auto-updates. I have it on, and every hour it checks and auto-updates all skills. Here are the update check and the GitHub project link. This is the link to the current repo. It already has 1,700 stars, and I'd really appreciate your support and a star. Finally, let me show how the project workspace is set up. There's a linked project option. You can add one manually or scan a path to discover one. Then there's the linked workspace. By default, a linked workspace. Take Claude Code, for example. Writes to the .claude/skills path inside the current project folder. With a linked workspace, you can specify the skill path yourself, a custom, non-standard path. That's the difference between a linked workspace and a regular one. That's everything for today. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment on GitHub or below the video.